Hi children, Teacher Mike here. In this video I'm going to show you how to color the Africa biome map. So biomes are what the land and the environment look like. So we're not going to be looking at cities or where people live, we're just going to be looking at the natural environment. So like deserts and rainforests and grasslands and and rivers and mountains. So we're going to color the biome map and then add some cool details. So give me a moment to move my camera. Alright, so here's my Africa biome map paper. Here's an outline of Africa. The black line is the main outline, and then I put in some this brown line and green line to differentiate the different biomes. And then we have our title, Africa biome map. Alright, so we're going to start off by just talking about the overall biomes of Africa. So right down the middle of Africa, right across the middle is where the equator is. So this is the hottest part of Africa. So this is a rainforest. The rainforest needs a lot of heat, so that's why the rainforest is right in the middle. And then this is the grasslands, and it's grasslands because they have a wet season and a dry season. So half of the year it rains a lot, and there's lots of water there and lots of plants, and the animals like to go drink the water and eat the plants. And then half of the year it's a dry season where it doesn't rain very much. So the water dries up and the plants die, and then the animals migrate somewhere else. So the grasslands are a little bit different than the rainforest. So this is the hot, wet part of Africa, and then above it is the desert. And this is the biggest sand desert in the world. It's called the Sahara Desert. And then down here we have another desert called the Kalahari Desert, which is a little bit smaller. And then on the island of Madagascar you have grasslands and rainforests, so it has a little bit of both. So let's color this in, and then we'll label some of the parts. So like I said at the top, this is the desert, so I'm going to color this brown. So a desert is a place that does not get much rainfall, and most deserts are hot, but not all of them. Antarctica is a desert as well, but it's very, very, very cold. So it doesn't rain a whole lot there, so that makes it a desert. So let's talk about this desert in Africa, the top part of Africa. This is called the Sahara Desert, okay? And it is very, 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 very big. All right, next up, we're gonna color this big area right here. These are grasslands. So we can call them grasslands, or some people call them the savanna. They go by both. And I'm gonna color it green. So like I said before, grasslands, they have a wet season and a dry season in Africa. So some of the year it rains a lot with lots of water and lots of rain, and some of the year it has a dry season where it does not rain very much. And then the water dries up. So when that happens, animals need water to drink, just like we need water to drink. So if there's no water around, they'll leave. And that's called migrating. And they migrate to somewhere else where there's more water. And then on this island of Madagascar, the top part is grassland. And there we go. All right, next up we're going to color this area, and this is a rainforest. So let me color that. I'm going to use this brighter green or lighter green for my rainforest. So the rainforest gets lots of rain all year, and it's really hot because it's right on the equator. So that water rains down, it feeds plants, and then the hot temperatures help the water to evaporate to make more clouds, and then it rains down, and that feeds the plants. So the rainforest is very, very dense with plants. Dense means really tight together, so there will be lots and lots and lots of trees and bushes and plants all around the rainforest, whereas on the grasslands, the trees are sparse. Sparse means far apart. So let's pretend these color pencils that I have are different plants and trees. If we were in the rainforest, they'd all be really close together, and the whole area would be full of them. If we were in the grasslands, they'd be really spread out, so they would be kind of like that, where there's more space between them, okay? And if we were in the desert, where there's not much rain at all, maybe there's just one plant. So there's not many plants in the desert. All right, let's color our last desert down here. This is the Kalahari Desert. It's not as big as the Sahara, but it is still a desert. It does not get very much rain all year. All right, So these are our main biomes: desert, grasslands, desert, and rainforest. And then Africa has the longest river in the world, and it's called the Nile River. So I want to add the Nile River because it's a biome too. Rivers are biomes too. That's part of the land. So it starts about right here, and it goes up. That's another interesting part about the Nile River. It flows north. So if you're looking at the Earth, it looks like the Nile River flows up. Most rivers flow down. They flow to the ocean, and for the Nile River to find the ocean, it goes up. And then it comes up here like that. So this is the Nile River. It's pretty squiggly. When you draw your Nile River, it doesn't have to look just like mine. Mine doesn't match the exact river. I'm just giving the best that I can get. This is the general idea of where it is. So the Nile River starts about here, and then all the water flows into it. There's smaller rivers that come and they flow into the Nile River, and all the water goes this way, all the way up, turns, and it comes up here, and there's an ocean up here. This is the Mediterranean Sea. So the Nile River empties out into the Mediterranean Sea. So the way it does it is, when it's getting close, the Nile River opens up, and it kind of looks like a triangle of lots and lots of rivers. So it gets bigger and it spreads out, and this is called a delta. So there's lots of plants here because the water is all spread out, so lots of plants can grow in different areas. So it's pretty cool. So that's the Nile River. And also I want to add Mount Kilimanjaro, the tallest mountain in Africa. So it's close to the Nile River. It's about right here. I'm just going to draw a little triangle as our mountain, and that's going to be Mount Kilimanjaro. All right, now I want to label all of these parts. So let's start with the Sahara Desert. This is the Sahara Desert. So let's write Sahara up here. We can write Sahara Desert and an arrow just like that. And then let's do the Nile River. So we have Nile. Hey, it has a long I and a silent E. Nile River, the longest river in the whole world. Point right to that. And then we're going to do Mount Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro is a very long word, and I don't have a whole lot of space right here. So I'm going to do an arrow all the way down here, so I have more space because I can write Mount Kilimanjaro down here. So let me show you how to spell Mount Kilimanjaro. It is a long word. So Mount, we abbreviate Mount MT. That's kind of like how we abbreviate Mr. MR or Mrs. MRS. So this is Mount and then Kilimanjaro. K-I-L-I-M-A-N-J-A-R-O. Mount Kilimanjaro. And that's where it is, the tallest mountain in Africa. All right, next up, let's see. We have the rainforest over here. So let's spell rainforest. Rainforest. Arrow. All right, and then we have the Kalahari Desert down here. So let's spell Kalahari Desert. Kalahari is kind of a long word too. There's not a whole lot of room right here, so let me put an arrow from over here. I'll do Kalahari, which is K-A-L-A-H-A-R-I. That's a lot of A's, 3 A's. Kalahari Desert. All right, so we labeled the biomes of Africa. There we go. We have the Sahara Desert, I forgot to do the grasslands. Let's do the grasslands. Okay. Grasslands is a little bit of a long word too. We need to point here. How about we'll do it at the bottom. Come down here. Can you see that? Yes. Okay. So grasslands. So the grasslands is a big part of Africa, and when you're thinking of the famous African animals like lions and elephants and zebras, they all live in the grasslands. Okay. Oh, let me tell you an animal that lives in each of the biomes. Let's do that. So in the Sahara Desert, camels live in the Sahara Desert. That's a famous animal in the Sahara Desert. Grasslands, you have elephants, African elephants, and zebras, and lions. And then in the rainforest, you have mountain gorillas live in the rainforest. They're super cool. And in the Kalahari Desert, I think there's like these cool desert rats that live there. And I think the meerkats live in the Kalahari Desert too. So there's some animals that live in each area. So let's just go over what we have. We have the Sahara Desert, Nile River, rainforest, Kalahari Desert, Kalahari Desert, Mount Kilimanjaro, and the grasslands. All right, that's the end of the video. Let me switch my camera. I hope you enjoy coloring in the biomes of Africa, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.